You're listening to Wiscoholics with Jimmy Christensen.
Hey, man. I look at the internet.
Todd Varney.
For as not confident as I am, I'm not unconfident either.
And your host, Erin Alice.
Imagine meeting the love of your life and then finding out that he debates Brady versus Rogers with strangers on Twitter.
These are the Wiscoholics. Drink up.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Wiscoholics, the show that nobody asked for, where we talk Wisconsin sports and then some. I am your host, Erin Alice, and with me, as always, is Jimmy Christensen and Todd Varney. We're gonna welcome Todd first. Todd, how are you doing today?
Oh, I wasn't ready for this. Ask Jimmy.
It's all right. We just send you the link and hope you show up every week.
Well, I didn't know you were going to ask me right away. I have to wait and see how Jimmy's doing.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't sorry. You surprised me.
It's okay. We're just trying to switch things up. We got to keep the people interested.
Yeah, no, I'm doing great though.
Good.
I hope you're real shitty now because you already messed that up.
Jimmy, how are you tonight, this evening?
I was great until coming here to Todd flipping me off, and now just Todd and his shenanigans already. It's just bringing down the mood.
Yeah, and he loves every second of it too.
No, that's
yeah, it is. Come on. All right, so big day today. Well, I guess it will be yesterday when you're listening to this, but the start of free agency officially started today. It's also St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. But the biggest thing that happened for the Packers this week, Aaron Jones in extension, or they re-signed him rather. 4 years. We're off to a great start. 4 years. Although, we'll see if it lasts 4 years. But how do you guys feel about it? You feeling good about the contract?
I was surprised. I honestly did not see that coming, mainly because once Drew Rosenhaus came in, I just didn't think that was going to happen. I don't know. I like the deal for the Packers. Obviously, Aaron Jones is super talented. I don't think he'll make it the full 4 years. One of the years, I think it's either year 3 or I think it is year 3. He has a $16 million cap hit. There's no way we're going to pay running back that much. So it kind of turns out to be 2 years, $20 million, and then that third year, if they do release him, a $6 million cap hit. So from what everyone's saying on Twitter, the Twitterverse, is probably going to turn out to be a 2-year, $26 million deal, which isn't horrible. The cap hit this season is really low, so I like it. We'll run it back with him and AJ Dillon next season, see if they can do a little thunder and lightning. I still think we're one running back away. I think we do need another one, especially a pass catching one, maybe James White or something. But bringing in Aaron Jones or keeping Aaron Jones definitely gives the team another chance to run it back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, his cap hit for next season is $4.5 million, just under $4.5 million. I mean, that is I think a steal for a top running back going into this season. It's structured perfectly for the Packers. What do you think, Todd?
Yeah, like Jimmy, I was surprised by it too. I just spending money on running backs. I'm of that school of thought that they're a dime a dozen. I mean, when you look and see what Jamal got, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about Jamal here in a minute. But when you look and see what he got, it's hard to go, man. Would I rather had the Packers save that money to spend elsewhere and run it back with Jamal and AJ Dillon, and then still need a third back as well.
Yeah, and I get that, and I'm hoping that he will just end up being more of an offensive weapon in general that elevates the entire team to feel that it's worth it. But I just want to say, when we were doing our practice shows for this, I predicted that we were going to re-sign him. I just felt something in my gut that was going to happen, and it did. So I just
congratulations on being right.
Thank you. Todd's back on his bullshit.
I am. Part of me wonders, if he knows that he just wouldn't have gotten that same deal somewhere else. I'm looking at the market right now. Running backs, really, Leonard Fournette hasn't been signed yet. Part of the reason why, and I know we're going to talk about Jamal later, part of the reason why his contract was so cheap was because Malcolm Brown signed for such a low amount with the Dolphins, and then Carlos Hyde signed for such a low amount with the the Jaguars. So they kind of set that running back market, even though they're mid-level guys, and Aaron Jones is obviously a top tier. But I really don't know if another team would have given him 13 plus a year. Especially with the season that it is, or the cap situation it is right now. I'm sure he would have gotten it somewhere, nowhere near. I don't think a team ability level as the Packers have. I think if he did go somewhere, it was going to be a shitty team like the Jets or Dolphins that would kind of sign him and bring him in. So it really, people are saying it's a steal for the Packers, but I really do think it's a great deal for Jones, because if he does get released after 2 years, he's 27 going into being able to sign a final contract. And then who knows if you'll be able to go late into 30s. Running backs are so different, but he's setting himself up to have another big payday. So yeah, people can say it's a great deal for the Packers, but at the same time, Jones is going to be set because he can test free agency again soon.
Well, and that cap will be so much higher in 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I mean, he's at least getting also 13 million guaranteed. So he's, even if God forbid he gets injured, because that's always my thing, is everyone's saying like we should sign a running back. Like, why wouldn't a running back come and get the vet minimum in Green Bay? Because you get to play with Aaron Rodgers and then earn your contract next year. Well, what if you get injured? You know, to the point that your career's over. So at least like Jones is getting $13 million that, you know, he doesn't if God forbid something horrible does happen, he at least has that. So I think it works out, like you said, for both parties. It's fairly cheap. When I was expecting it to be way higher if we were going to re-sign him, but it's still, you know, something that can support him, you know, when he retires, if he needed, you know, to do that.
Yeah. And with running backs too, if he would have had that Dak Prescott injury, there's no way he would have gotten paid the same way Dak did the year after that. Like if a running back messes his leg up like that, he's not getting a top level contract. So they have to be a lot more cautious. Really, honestly, the only position that would happen in is literally quarterback, to where they can get that franchise tag. If they get hurt, they can still have a chance to get a deal the next year. Any other position, there's no way a team would trust that.
Yep. You're going to get a vet minimum or something just really, really low. So let's switch gears to go to basketball. So literally just like an hour or two ago, the Bucks made a move. They traded for PJ Tucker as well as Rodions Kurucs. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly.
Well, I've never heard it, so you got to be nailing it.
Yeah, it's probably right. And as well as and I'm sorry, they got and an unprotected and a protected first round pick. So if it's between I believe rounds 1 and 9, the Rockets will keep it, but if it's outside of that, the Bucks get it. In addition, the Rockets received DJ Augustine, DJ Wilson, and a 2023 unprotected first round pick. And the Bucks also gave up Torrey Craig to Phoenix. I think I got everything in there.
Yeah, no, you did.
I missed something. It was a lot of information.
No, you got it. The big thing is, I'm a little bit surprised about DJ Augustine just because they signed him this past year. DJ Wilson makes sense. The last few years, he's just a prospect that really hasn't turned into much. And Torrey Craig was just signed this offseason as well. But I don't even really care so much of them getting rid of first round picks. They've been notoriously bad in the first round lately. Really, besides Giannis, their first round draft picks have sucked. I don't know. It's good. They've been trying to get PJ Tucker for the last couple seasons. They finally get him in here. The Latvian guy, literally all I think about is New Girl, how Winston played in Latvia for basketball. So as long as he's somewhat as good as Winston, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Less awkward.
No, I'm literally naming my son Winston because of Winston from New Girl.
I'm pretty sure you traded away the naming rights or gambled them away at one point. I'm going to have to go back.
Or like lost in fantasy football, like the league.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
I've offered naming rights a lot.
Chalupa Batman.
I don't think you have Chalupa
Batman. Yeah, I definitely don't. But I'm gonna try.
Here's what surprises me. I don't want to even say like a little bit less than a casual NBA fan, but I typically know most of the guys. PJ Tucker's 35. I'm pretty sure I've never heard that name before in my life. Is he good? What does he do?
He not bad.
Yeah, he can be a stretch forward. He's undersized for it, but he's gonna give the Bucks that kind of like fuck you attitude they don't have, especially with Robin Lopez. That was kind of his role last year. PJ Tucker is kind of known. He's super aggressive. He can stretch the floor. He is undersized, but he makes up for it. He's like a poor man's Draymond Green, pretty much.
Got it.
Which
well, I hate
Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Agree.
So hopefully he helps. The Bucks definitely need something to put us over the edge to get us into a run into the playoffs. I'm a little nervous for them this year. This is probably my least confident year going into the playoffs, which maybe that means that they will do good, because the last few seasons I have been confident and they sucked ass in the playoffs. So maybe they'll finally do good, because I don't have such high hopes.
They will. They'll start doing really well, and then your hopes will get up, and then they'll come crashing down. That's how Wisconsin sports works.
Yeah, good point.
Speaking of which, Badgers hockey, this is exactly what happened last night. They played in the Big Ten championship against Minnesota, and Minnesota ended up being up 5-1. And then Wisconsin made a comeback in the third period, and it was 5-4, and they could not make the full comeback. So again, it was like the Packers in the NFC championship game. And like the Bucks every season, it was a lot of hope for
that second period was brutal. The Badgers scored to make it 2-1. And I tweeted out and was like, hey, if you're not watching this, you're missing out. 4 minutes later, it was 4-1. And I tweeted out, never mind. my bad. My bad. They made a run at the end there in the third period, but just couldn't get it. It was a fast-paced game. I haven't seen a college hockey game move that fast in a long time.
Yeah. Well, and thankfully it was just the Big Ten, so they still have the NCAA tournament to go to. So hopefully they'll have a better outcome. But their coach was also, I believe, named the Big Ten Coach of the Year. Yep. So kudos to him. Yeah. So any Brewers news?
Still just spring training, kind of rolling through some stuff. Jimmy, would you say it's spring now? We're in the middle of March.
Timeout. It was 34 degrees. It's 34 degrees right now. Chance of snow? Absolutely fucking not.
What was it last week? It was 60 all week.
Talk to me on Sunday when it's 57.
It's March 24th. Shut up. It's spring. Anyway,
it's March 17th. You dumbass.
What day is it?
You're a week late.
Day.
It's March 17th.
The first day of spring is like the 21st.
I'm honestly, I don't know why March 24th is even in my head. I know that's wrong. But I'm really surprised that I even know it's March at this point. Like,
it's impressive.
It's been March for the last 2 years. You really
It's March 2020 still. We're just still in one long month. All right. Well, that is where do we start? So let's shift over to Teach Jimmy Baseball.
I'm excited for this one, honestly.
Jimmy, if I told you that Christian Yelich went 2 for 3 yesterday, what do you know what the 2 for 3 stands for or means?
He went 2 for so I'm assuming he was at bat 3 times and he hit the ball twice.
Hit the ball or got a hit?
Is that not the same thing?
It's absolutely not the same thing. Like, you can hit a ball, but if they catch it, you're out.
Okay, well then I'm going to assume he got a hit twice.
You would be right.
Yeah, second time's the charm, baby.
Wow.
And
we'll just edit that part. We'll just edit your wrong answer out.
No,
post-production.
No, we'll leave it. But he could have went to the plate and had more plate appearances than that, Jimmy, because if you walk, it doesn't count as an at-bat.
Really? Why?
Yep. It's just not an at-bat. Also, what do you think?
Even though you go and sat in the batter's box like you're at-bat, even though you are at-bat, it's not an at-bat. Does that make sense?
No, it's so baseball's so fucking stupid. This
okay,
is why I don't follow this.
What if you hit the ball and a guy drops it, commits an error, and you get on base? Do you get a hit?
You should.
But you don't. That one counts against you.
Even though he dropped it?
Yep. Not a hit.
Why shouldn't that be a plus for you and a minus for the dumbass who dropped it?
Well, it's a minus for the dumbass that dropped it because it's an error.
And then a minus for me for hitting it?
But you don't get credit for getting a hit because you didn't get a hit. You hit into what should have been a routine out.
That's not my fault. I should get credit
for it. It
for
actually is because you didn't get a hit.
Get the fuck out of here.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What if it's like a really like who classifies it as an error or not? Like what if someone dives for it and they miss it? That's considered an error, even though it's like an impossible catch?
No. So if it's a diving play, it's a judgment call.
That's so stupid.
That the score maker or scorekeeper makes. Typically a diving play, they're not going to give you an error on that. It really just, it's like basically a play that should have been made. So on something like a diving play, jumping, trying to rob a home run, like stuff like that, you're not going to get one on.
That doesn't make sense. In basketball, if I shoot a half court shot at the last second and it banks in, some miracle shot counts. If I throw a Hail Mary touchdown, bullshit catch counts.
Well, it still counts. Like you still get to be on base.
Yeah, but I don't get credit for it.
Why should you? If you throw up a shot from half court and you miss, then that still counts against your shooting percentage. You shouldn't just be like, oh, well, it was the end of the game, so whatever.
I'm not saying it should count. I shot it in the same way. I hit the ball.
Right.
Dumbass over there dropped it. Sucks for you. My stats just went up, idiot.
No, you're an idiot.
No, that's stupid.
You millennials, you just want something for free, right?
It's not for free. I hit the ball.
Right at someone.
Well, that's strategy. Make them panic. If I hit the ball, I'm aiming straight for the pitcher's face every time. Just saying. Strategy.
I really want to take you to the batting cage.
So you can see me miss
it. That's content right there.
Jimmy plays baseball.
We're gonna make this a web series.
I was just gonna say, just a heads up, guys. I think we accidentally just came up with some content for a Patreon page.
Spin-off.
Just Jimmy's dumbass in a batting cage.
Were you hitting line drives at him?
I'll catch it. No, it's my biggest fear, being a pitcher and just having a ball coming straight at you.
Yeah, that sounds.
I would pitch and just lay down.
When I was a kid.
You took one of those?
I took one right off the face when I was a kid.
Explain
that explains so much.
Blood everywhere.
Where did it hit you in the face? The nose?
Yeah, right in the nose.
Damn.
Yeah, it bled forever, and we didn't call my mom because it was in the middle of summer, like middle of the day. But I couldn't go in the house because it wouldn't stop bleeding, so I was just like sitting in the garage with a bunch of rags. My mom came home and was like,
did you murder someone?
And I was like, I can't go in the house because my nose is bleeding. And she's like, why? And I was like, oh, I got hit with a baseball. She's like, why? And I was like, I don't know, a few hours ago. She's like, get in the car. We're going. I was like, well, if I can't go in the house, I can't go in the car. I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
She's like, well, if you've been bleeding for hours, we should probably go to the hospital.
Yeah. It's amazing you didn't pass out.
Yeah. I got Pizza Hut out of the deal. So what up?
Shout out
Pizza Hut.
Yeah, totally worth it. Totally worth the brain damage. All right. So that was Teach Jimmy Baseball. That was a good one. I could have listened to that for an hour.
I still don't. Yeah.
You're probably the only one. I was getting frustrated with it after 2 minutes. That guy
it doesn't make sense.
You're a moron, Jimmy. Shut up.
And the thing too, if I'm at the bat and I'm such a dangerous hitter, they want to walk me, give me some kind of credit for it. Like next to the stat
goes out.
Yeah. I want to.
Oh, so that's a different percentage. Your hit percentage.
Oh yeah.
You have an on-base percentage. Oh my God. We don't even have time to discuss that.
And really the best way to judge a player's offense is their OPS, which is their on-base plus their slugging percentage.
I'm not even interested. Nope. They should make a new column like punked the pitcher. If you punk the pitcher to where he has to throw balls, point for you in the stats. Just revolutionize the game. You're welcome.
That's I'm giving you guys ball.
I'm giving you guys a lot of good stuff. Juice to the tits, designated hitter, punk the pitcher stat. You're welcome.
We're gonna have to save this and start our own league. Save all these rules.
Text CC Sebastian. Have them start working on that.
All right, so on to our next segment called This Week in Wisconsin History. Well, we're not done with baseball yet. So on March 16th in 1987, the Greater Milwaukee Committee created a task force to study whether to renovate County Stadium or build a new ballpark. This was called the Ballpark Committee. Isn't that a really clever name? Yeah, very. I wonder what they do. And while they ended up deciding that they wanted to build a new ballpark because County Stadium was kind of run down. And while they originally made a completion date of 1992, yet they didn't even start construction until 1996. And that would become Miller Park, which opened in 2001 and is now known as, to many people's dismay, as American Family Field.
I don't want to talk about that.
I love that name.
Of course you do. You love everything that everybody hates. That's
True.
Your personality trait.
Yeah, what do you guys like today? I hate it. What are you guys hating on? No, that's the best.
That's the best way to like get out of a conversation or like get people to not talk to you, is just say everything that they like you hate.
I've never noticed that, and I definitely don't use that to my advantage.
I told you guys this before we started recording, but my grandpa still bitches about Miller Park, and it drives me nuts. If I had to hear about his taxes going up $3 because they passed the bill without him knowing, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Every time I'm like, I'm so sorry, man. Do you want me to buy you like a Starbucks coffee? That'll bounce it out. Like, you don't have to worry about it today. You want me? I'll give you $5. You made $2. Fucking crab ass. Seriously, every time, anytime Brewers are brought up, well, you know, they built a stadium without approval. Like, all right, there. So sorry.
Your grandpa sounds like me. He's such a crab ass.
For real.
It's cost him like a 2 for Tuesday at Applebee's over the course of his lifetime. And he's just pissed.
One time
he will never support the team again because of that.
I know, he gets so pissed too because he'll smoke and be like, after he says that, sometimes he smoke and be like, hey, how much do those cigarettes cost? It's not the fucking point. I'm like, okay, never mind.
I love old people. They just want to be crabby just to be crabby. Like, I strive for that.
I'm honestly like, I'm growing into that personality so well. Like, just aging into it. The older I get, the crabbier I'm going to be. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, you can get crabbier than you are right now.
Try me.
Can't wait.
Let's talk about baseball a little bit more.
Jimmy,
to that fucking point.
Let's talk about what it is.
Talk to me about it. Batting average percentage stat.
Oh, we'll be here all night. So let's move into our offensive and defensive players of the week. We'll start with offense. Anyone want to go first?
Todd, be a little less crabby. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go with cousin Devontae, because other breaking news just before we came on, the Vikings signed Patrick Peterson. So Devontae's definitely going to eat 2 games against him. And also there are rumors swirling that the Bears may be getting rid of Kyle Fuller.
Yeah.
So I would love to see who they bring in instead. And that'll be 2 more games that cousin Devontae is going to eat. So stoked for that guy.
I did read earlier that they have, well, I guess he was not, at least in the first round of cap casualties, that they restructured some contracts. So Kyle Fuller is still expected to be on the team, but who the hell knows as free agency progresses. But they gotta find room for Andy Dalton. So
oh my gosh.
Imagine you're Kyle Fuller, you're CB1, and you lose your job because your team is so desperate to give $10 million to Andy Dalton. How humiliating. I would go straight to an NFC North rival if that happened.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
That's one of the few situations where I would actually like expect a player to take a team friendly deal. Just like least amount of money, whatever it takes to get me on your roster. Please.
Yes.
Please.
I will work
but
for
also,
free. I will volunteer.
Think about how stoked you are because you're not on a team with Andy Dalton as your starting quarterback anymore. Like,
yeah.
Hey, you guys need money? Cut me. I'm good. That's fine. I'm not trying to be here anymore.
Hey, you think that the people volunteered? Like,
I've been over here watching Mitch try and do this for the last 4 years, and you assholes just decide that, oh, we're going to let him go so we can bring in an older, slower, dumber looking Mitch Trubisky. My God.
Save that energy.
I love Ryan Pace.
Save me too. Save that energy for love hate.
I was gonna say I saw Ross Uglum of Packer Report put the past 2 seasons Patrick Peterson's QBR ratings against him have been 104.6 in 2019 and 100.8 in 2020. The difference came because he had 12 penalties last season. So it's not like he's a Patrick Peterson of old that people remembering. Like, he struggled the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been like banging the drum for him to come to the Packers, and I've kind of been iffy on it. I'm like, yeah, I want a CB, but I'm not that desperate for it to the point that we need to just sign some name.
He's a DB2 now.
His Twitter is.
Yeah, at best a DB2.
Yeah,
like I would say DB3.
He'd be fine to have opposite side Jair. Like, I think he would do just as well as Kevin King did for us last year.
Well, I think we're looking for an upgrade.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Keep somebody in front of him on the last play of the half.
Anyways, so Jimmy, who's your offensive player of the week? I don't want to talk about that.
This one's gonna tug on my heartstrings. I'm rocking his shirt right now. I'm going with Jamal Williams, the man, the myth, the legend. He just signed a contract yesterday with, unfortunately, the Detroit Lions. There were a couple teams interested, but as I mentioned earlier, with Malcolm Brown and Carlos Hyde taking such cheap deals, that kind of set the market for the mid-level running back. So he signed a deal with the Lions, a 2-year, $6 million base, can get up to 7.5. But we're going to get to see him twice a year, which is nice because I do love me some Jamal. So he got his contract, he got paid, he set himself up nicely to be able to get another contract in a couple seasons when the salary cap goes up again. But good for him. He took a team-friendly deal, unfortunately not with the Packers, but they got a great running back, great person for a cheap deal. Hope nothing but the best for Jamal, and hopefully he runs for 200 yards against the Packers, but the Packers still win. That's my ideal life right now.
That's the best case scenario.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss him, and we're gonna miss the Jamal Williams show here on Game On Wisconsin too.
I won't. I got beef with that guy. He just automatically assumed that I've never done anything impressive with my life. He was right.
Right.
Oh, that's right. That was on when he was a guest on Lombardi's Bar. That's right.
Yeah, and it was
I gotta find that clip.
No, you got to do something impressive if you want to wear those. Like, you've been talking to me.
I mean, he knew
virtually.
He just got a vibe. You just give off an energy. Okay, so my offensive
wasn't wrong, but
yeah.
No, go ahead.
My offensive player of the week is Trent Williams. The 49ers re-signed him. And the reason that he is because he is the pettiest motherfucker. And I love it.
I mean,
even though he signed a contract to become the highest paid offensive lineman. For all of you kids out there taking notes, that means he dethroned David Bakhtiari as the highest paid offensive lineman. And how much did he dethrone him by? $10,000. His average per year that he's going to be making is $23 million, $10,000. Bakhtiari's is $23 million. For example, that is 0.04%. Just that amount of money, just so he could say, I am the highest paid offensive lineman in the league. For people on our I guess people that are not millionaires like us, that's like saying I want $10 extra a year on a $23,000 contract just to say that I am the highest paid. Like, that is $10.20. Yeah, it is hilarious. David Bakhtiari was very enjoyed it. He made a joke about it, but I just thought that was the pettiest thing, and I am absolutely in love with that. So even though it's the 49ers, but
I would have loved if he just literally did like $1 more.
That would have been even better. Like a Price is Right.
Yeah.
Like a Price is Right.
or Bakhtiari would just go in and like restructure, sign an extension for like another, like, tell you what, add another year on for $10,000.
And then it just keeps increasing.
Yeah.
Then they've each got like 99-year contracts. Or like Perfect. Scientology, a 1 billion-year contract. All right, let's switch to defensive player of the year or week. Jesus.
Of the year. Let me get someone for you. For this one, I'm going with Chandon Sullivan. There was some wondering if he was going to be back on the team next year. The Packers used their exclusive rights, so they offered him the veteran minimum. So he'll be back with the Packers next season. I always love to see undrafted rookies make it in the NFL. It's a cool story. Not everyone gets to do that, so it's cool he got to come in. Last year was his first year as a full-time starter coming out of camp, and it was a weird camp. So chances are he's going to improve from there. Coming into his second year as a starter, being able to have a full camp, new defensive coordinator, same cornerbacks coach or DB coach. So I'm looking for improvement for him. He does have to become more consistent at that position, but the Packers have a long history of undrafted defensive backs, and hopefully he can kind of become the next either Sam Shields or Tramon Williams. So we'll see, but I always like to see those success stories.
Yeah, fingers crossed that it works out. My defensive player of the week is defensive tackle Michael Brockers, because he is played for the Rams and he was just recently traded to the Lions. And if anyone recognizes that name, if something stuck out recently, that is because when Matthew Stafford was traded to the Rams, Brockers said it was a level up from Jared Goff. And now he has to go play with Jared Goff on his team again after saying that. So I saw that notification from Ian Rappaport, and I was like, I heard the Curb Your Enthusiasm music in my head. Like, I don't know how you look a guy in the eye after saying that, being like, yeah, this is the leader of my team. Okay. Yeah. And that is just hilarious to me. Oh, man. Too funny.
I think
too funny.
Like, it's easy to say like, hey, it's the new guy on the team and I got to support my guy at that point. And also if you're Jared Goff and you can't admit that Matt Stafford is a level above you, then you're worse at being real with yourself than you are at playing quarterback in the NFL.
Well, I think it's a lesson is to like not talk like shit.
I mean, because, always talk shit.
No, because oh my God, well, I guess at least he's not on offense. Because imagine that's like
it'd be hard to be a wide receiver and be like, well, I guess I'm never getting the ball again.
Like that'd be like Greg Jennings coming back to play with the Packers after he talked so much shit about Rodgers. Like, could you imagine? Oh, there'd be no way. There's no way. So
Rodgers would pull the longest yard stunt and just aim for the nuts every time.
And he probably hit it.
Oh yeah.
All right, Todd, what about you?
I've got Brandon Woodruff. Big woo through 61 pitches in a scrimmage today, 4 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. And if you look at the calendar and do the math, every 5th day lines up. Looks like he is going to be set up to be the opening day starter for the 2nd year in a row for the Brewers.
Ooh,
great.
That's baseball stuff, Jimmy.
Yeah.
He's still stuck on hits. He still can't figure it out.
All I know is if I was a pitcher, I'd pitch every game. No big deal.
Yep. Yeah,
because you'd be juicing. You'd be the designated hitter.
Oh, I'd be on all the drugs, every single one.
All right, let's head over to good news, bad news. Let me hear the good news.
Oh, I got one for you.
Oh God!
All right, so there's this bullshit saying of you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Well, let me tell you, that is wrong. In Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. That's a place, apparently.
It's Door County.
Yeah, I actually knew that.
Look at the map.
I've never been to Door County. I heard it's a great place. Never been. So a guy driving a Jeep, good car, good choice, decided to go into a gas station. While he was in this gas station, his dog thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drive this car. So the dog, he comes out and his car is crashed into the building. Because his dog shifted the gear from park to drive, and it just went straight into the building.
Oh my God!
Honestly, what Uber should look into, instead of doing like automated cars that drive themselves, let's just start training dogs.
Yeah, because it worked so well in Sturgeon Bay. So naturally, let's have that all over.
Well, if we train them correctly, the dog was untrained. He's just naturally curious. Just had a little bit of an accident and crash into a gas station. Not that big of a deal. We got a bunch of them. That one's fine.
Yeah. Let's trademark that.
Yeah, we'll start the Game on Wisconsin. We'll train dogs to drive your car.
It's our new business strategy.
Yeah. Hey, the site's got to make money somehow.
Patreon page of me hitting baseballs and dogs driving cars. You're welcome, Jacob.
Call it bitches behind the wheel.
Oh dear God.
No chance for that to become problematic at any
Yeah, no, I don't.
Never, absolutely not. Whatever. It's a word for a dog.
Oh, really? I wasn't aware of that. I'm in 3rd grade.
You know what? You act like it.
Thank you.
First of all, Todd, in 3rd grade, you were saying bitch. Don't try to lie to us.
Probably. It's probably his first word.
Todd was sent home from school like, you're a bitch to his teacher.
No, I wasn't. But when I was a kid, my buddy and I
knew there was a butt coming.
My buddy and I used to walk around talking about, like, man, we gotta quit swearing. Like I've been doing. It was like we were on heroin, right? Like we'd be out in the woods, just be like
shaking.
Oh, see, I can't stop. I can't stop swearing. Shit, I did it again. I don't even know why. I gotta quit. I'm gonna get in trouble. Oh, my parents hear me, dude. I am dead. Like, yeah, I was like 5, 6 years old, walking around the woods,
rough life.
Out trees. Gotta do what you gotta do. Small town living.
That's not normal behavior. All right, hit me with the bad news, Todd.
Well, the Stevens Point mayor has been trying to get a tribute to RoboCop put in Stevens Point because why not? There was a statue that was created in Detroit where a grassroots crowdfunding effort put together $67,000 back in 2011 to build this RoboCop statue for Detroit. They wanted it to go in the Michigan Science Center because, of course, RoboCop Science Center makes sense.
Of course.
But that fell through, so they don't currently have anywhere for the statue to go. So Stevens Point mayor was like, hey, we'll take it. Why wouldn't we want a RoboCop statue here?
We're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah. And this is what we got to worry about right now.
Yes. People don't have jobs, no food, but this is a high priority.
Hey, they got to hire someone to put it up. All right.
Peter Weller was. Yeah, Peter Weller starred in RoboCop 1 and 2, and he is a native of Stevens Point. So there is a little bit of tie. It's not like it's just completely random.
Like the mayor's still
to just be like, oh, you guys made a statue and you don't have a place to put it? Well, let me tell you, bring it on over here. I love RoboCop because my friend's older brother was in it. So I saw him one time at the gas station in town and it seemed like a cool cat. So we're going to do that. But the bad news is the artist has said that they would appreciate if it stayed in Detroit, and they're working on getting another location. So the mayor was like,
deny.
He said to keep Stevens Point in mind if that new location doesn't work out. Like, this will not be denied. And also, he said that they've been working with Create Portage County, which is an organization there, on a backup plan if they can get proper copyright permissions. Like, he wants.
Really glad they have a backup plan.
Gotta get RoboCop.
I imagine this is gonna be like a statue in like City Hall. You know how people normally have like the woman that's like got the weights on or whatever it's called, like the balance thing.
Yeah.
Instead, it's RoboCop holding those
RoboCop. I think you put it like right outside the drunk tank. Because 90% of Stevens Point residents are going to see it at some point in their life. But 2, like, you're just sitting in there and the whole time just RoboCop staring at you.
Yeah.
But it's a metal sculpture that they did. I think it needs to be like more paper mache.
Yeah.
Like, really bad paper mache.
With like some flashing lights,
Yeah.
But they don't flash at the same time. Like they're all
the old
off.
Christmas lights that are the wrong color and 2 big bulbs.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's what I imagine.
You should just make it. You just reach out to the mayor.
Oh, I don't have those artistic skills.
Oh, well.
No, that's.
Well, we'll start a GoFundMe for it, and we can hopefully hire some 8-year-old to make it.
Can you make custom fatheads?
I don't know. I feel like you were just Googling it. Why? This is the most...
No, I was just thinking. I was gonna say, Todd, I want to get a statue of you in my house. I was like, that's not realistic. What's realistic? Oh, custom fat head of Todd. And then I looked at my wall right there, and I was like, I got nothing on that.
Oh,
Yeah,
so that was literally it. I was gonna put a custom Todd on my wall.
Yeah, I mean, I'll call some people, see what we can do.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I was not Googling it. You
All right,
dick.
to be continued. Bum, bum, bum.
I hope I get a custom fat head.
All right, let's head into our next segment called Love Hate. And this week's topic is NFC North quarterbacks. So we're going to decide if we love or we hate them. So number 1, the Minnesota Vikings quarterback, the one, the only Kirk Cousins.
Hate.
Yeah,
And it's not even because he's the
so
Vikings
much.
quarterback.
It's
I
him as a
hated him.
human being.
Yeah, I hated him when he was in Washington.
Yep.
Like, he's just always the dumbest. Michigan State, gross. Get him out of here.
He looks like he just looks like a spoiled brat, like frat boy that, will beat the shit out of someone and be like, I didn't do anything wrong.
I've done absolutely no research on this, but I guarantee his dad's a lawyer.
His dad's actually like a priest, I think.
Even worse.
Right. So there's like that arrogance where he's like, I'm a great human being, even if he does something horrible. Like, I feel like he carries that arrogance.
My
like,
dad's a priest. I would never do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna have my dad not pray for you. How's that? Let me in your bar, dude.
All right. The new Lions quarterback. You okay, Jimmy?
I still know he went from, I'm not going to have my dad pray for you. Let me in your bar.
I
feel like Todd's had this conversation before.
No, when I said his dad's a
his
bouncer,
head.
like his dad was a lawyer, he just looks like the kid who was in line, like when he was at Michigan State, was in line to get in the bar, and the bouncer was like, dude, you're 19 years old. And he's like, my dad's a lawyer. You have to let me in. Like, sorry, I guess I didn't articulate that. That's where my brain was. So,
oh my gosh,
Jared Goff, how are we feeling?
I like Jared Goff.
I go back and forth. I like Jared Goff. I like Jared Goff. I hate his face though.
He does have a punchable face.
And I think he's only referred to as Garrett Joff from now on. Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That was great.
Jared Goff. I like
Jared
that.
Goff. He's such a good quarterback.
Jared Goff, hate. Garrett Joff, love.
Love. Yeah.
Love me. That
With
guy.
you on that one. I retire.
He is like, I don't know that it's possible for me to have opinion on Jared Goff. Like, I feel bad for him, but at the same time, so that like makes me want to like him. But I feel bad for him because like he's bad and people just thought he was good for a minute. So
yeah, like I think you feel bad because I think he thought he was good because people thought that he was good, and now he's realizing that he's bad, and he's not only bad, he's being sent to one of the worst teams in the history of the NFL. I feel bad for him.
That's true.
I love that he's in.
I know, but now we got Jamal in Detroit.
Like we play him, but I like that he is in Detroit because
Jamal knew what he was getting himself into. He's a grown
Jamal
man.
Just wanted to be close to Green Bay.
Yeah.
And he made the decision to go there and not to the Bears or the Vikings. I'm so grateful he didn't pick either of those.
Yeah, thank God. I would have been so pissed.
Ford
that
Field's
would have been so much worse.
So.
Yeah, gets to play indoors. I'm glad he went to a team close by. Although I heard the Chiefs gave him an offer and he didn't take that. And I kind of wish he would have. He would have had a chance at a ring.
Yeah, there are a few teams that were in on him. With the Chiefs, it was, I don't know. With the running back situation there, they just drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then they also had Williams coming back from opting out last season. It would have just been another kind of tandem. And I know going to the Lions, it is too with Deion Swift. There's some rumblings that Kerryon Johnson's going to be gone next year, but from what it sounds like, he's going to have a lot of the workload there, which would be cool to see.
Right. And I get that. Like he wanted to sign at a place where he'd actually get to play. Because obviously we all know Jamal Williams pretty well. And it seems like he just absolutely loves football and he wants to play. Like that's all he wants to do with his life is play video games, watch anime, and play football.
Yeah, exactly. And talk to Game On Wisconsin.
Right. Yeah. Right. With his new media manager.
We're still bringing him on for Lombardi's Bar. We'll have a.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck me then. All right.
Oh, so sorry, Erin. You can come on too, so he can call you pretty.
I was more saying you could have promoted this show, but okay.
Oh, so sorry. And we'll bring him on here.
There we go. We got there eventually.
No, we won't, Todd. No, we won't.
Yeah, no. He's bar material.
Yeah.
All right. Heading to our very own Packers. You guys love, hate Aaron Rodgers?
I love Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback until this year on the Pat McAfee show. I honestly did not like Aaron Rodgers as a person. I thought he was kind of just a stuck-up chotch. But after listening to him on Pat McAfee show, I do love Aaron Rodgers, even as a person now. His personality has grown on me.
Yeah, and I think he's grown as a person in general. I think he's spoken like he'll be the first to tell you that like the last year he's grown a lot as a human being, and I think that really showed this year, just based on what you heard from him post game, based on how you feel. Like I don't say that I didn't like him. I mean, I didn't care for him as a human being, but I'm kind of neutral on that. It doesn't really matter. But I really agree with you that I'm was really proud this season that he was leading our team. Yeah. Like from a personal standpoint, that was the guy in charge. And because everything always kind of trickles down from the quarterback. Usually their attitude is infectious. And so his great attitude and his really showed that locker room it felt very special. And I think that he played a big part of that.
For sure.
Todd,
I hate him.
Roderick.
Hate him.
Of course you do. Let's go back to that conversation. That everything that other people love, Todd hates.
Yeah, no, I love Aaron Rodgers. Always have, always will. Just he's fantastic.
Love of your life.
I could really care less about if you're not breaking the law off the field, if it's not costing you games, I really could care less what your personality is. Like you're not a locker room cancer and you're not getting in trouble. Okay, cool. He's smug. He's a little arrogant. Of course he is. He's from the West Coast. Tell me name a professional athlete from the West Coast. It's not a little smug and arrogant. Hard to find him.
Truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of why I said I was neutral on him. It's I didn't care for his personality, but
you said
at least what we saw, but I didn't say I hated him. Jimmy said that.
I think it was just Aaron. I don't think it was me.
I hate you guys.
You want to check
this show will be looking for a new host. So if anybody's interested, please
literally
send those auditions.
You can't quit. We asked
the contract.
40 people and they turned us all down until you said
well, I can still quit.
There's no one left for us. No, you have to.
It's in the contract, honestly. If you quit, we get to do
well.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. What? Yeah. If I say it on air, then it's just
I'm terrified.
We'll get our lawyers to talk to you if you want to quit.
It was Jimmy Christensen and Todd Barney. If I'm missing, if I go missing, it was Jimmy Christensen and Todd Barney.
If you think we'll get caught, that out there, you are an idiot. We have this planned.
All right, Jimmy, now we got to
shut up.
And saving for evidence. Now we got to move. I decided to list the Bears last because if anybody somehow in Packers Twitter missed it, Andy Dalton signed with the Bears today. Well, the deal was done yesterday, but he officially signed the contract today for $10 million. He is going to be a Chicago Bear this season. There's also Nick Foles. So how do you guys feel about the both of them? Love, hate?
Love and love. Big Dick Nick and Red Rocket Andy. What could you be upset about? I would love to see both of those guys any Sunday against the Packers.
Yeah, I hope they're in Chicago for a long time.
Yeah. Let them retire there at the age of 48.
Yeah, I hope they both get I don't know, 7, 8, 9 starts this year. Just back and forth. Because they're
no
both
consistency.
Just, the fact that he was brought in to be the starter, but I feel like Nick Foles is better than him, but Nick Foles still isn't good. This is.
I mean, Nick Foles got benched for Mitch Trubisky at the end of the season.
Yeah,
I'm literally roster baiting looking at their quarterback.
Well, what's so funny to me is, well, I mean, Nagy and Pace are basically it's like they know that this is their last You okay, Jimmy?
I never heard roster baiting. Keep going.
Have you never seen the league?
I've seen the league. I just don't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. But they have no one on there. Like they have no quarterback signed beyond next season. So they're paying all of this money for Foles and Dalton to maybe like to end up with nobody next season unless they decide to like restructure someone or like extend either of those guys or re-sign them, or
I mean,
maybe they'll get someone in the draft. But they're going to have to trade up. That's the only thing that I can see is that they're going to have to trade up for somebody. So, but it's just so beautiful that Bears fans were convinced they were getting Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And they ended up with
I hope they
Andy
trade
Dalton.
up. I hope they trade up and they take Mac Jones over
that'd be
any
so
other.
good.
I hope there's still
any of the
quarterbacks
other.
on the board and they take Mac Jones because I don't know that Mac Jones is good.
Part of me feels like they're not going to trade up. I feel like they should, but I feel like they're not going to.
I think like the best part of these quarterbacks is that one of them's going to have a game that's like 300 plus yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, just one time this next season. And the Bears going to be like, this is our guy. We got to sign him long term.
Or they're going to bench him after like one interception like they did with Mitch. And then Foles ended up being worse.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, and
Love
I
it.
hope it's like week 1 or 2 that they have a quarterback go off because Bears Twitter is going to be just electric. That like,
Yeah.
oh, everybody was talking shit about Andy Dalton. He came in for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns today. And then literally he's not going to do anything for the next month.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should just sign Joe Flacco while they're at it. Just have all of them on the same team. Joe Flacco, Andy Dalton, Nick Foles.
Is Joe
they're all on the
Flacco
same.
a free agent?
I don't know. Trade
Oh.
for him.
I forgot
I'm
about
sure he
that
can be
he
had.
existed. Like I
Yeah,
just,
I'm sure he's not covered.
he is so forgettable. So forgettable.
He was on the Jets last,
like
I
that-
remember.
I thought he was with the Broncos. Or was that a while ago?
That was a while ago. They traded him to the Jets last year.
Oh,
I know
okay.
he played
Yeah,
a little bit
see,
once Darnold went down.
I feel like every time I hear his name for the past like 5 years, I've been like, oh, I forgot about him for 5 years straight.
like he's a lot.
I don't know how you can forget
Yeah.
about somebody that is that elite.
That average.
That's a good point.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was love, hate. And that we did it, gentlemen. That wraps up our show. We got through it. Can't believe
Nailed
it. Nailed it.
Killed it.
All right. We got through it without a phrasing moment.
How is
that possible?
I don't know. I don't know.
Fully
what
erect right now.
It's not even a phrasing because you're
No, that's just
you're
that's-
even
Yeah, that's why.
we're
There's
just
no question
no
about it.
no innuendos anymore. We're just going
Yeah.
straight for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get real sexual real fast.
So anyways, Jimmy, where can the folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Jimmy_C08. All the stuff that I'll be doing there for Game On, Packer Report, and with Jamal Williams will be posted on there. So just follow that and you'll get all my work.
Todd, what about you?
at the Todd V. I'm not doing much. I'm doing this. We got a Lombardi's Bar on Friday, 8:30 Central Time.
Yes.
Tune in after the Badger game.
Yep.
And otherwise, it's just at the Todd V on Twitter.
Sweet. And you can find me at Heroin, HEROOINE, as well as all of our socials for Game On Wisconsin, which is at Game On WI on Twitter and on Instagram. And then on YouTube and Facebook, just search Game On Wisconsin. And thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.